Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for another all-new episode of The Crowning Achievement, the show where we explore the ins and the outs of some of your favorite YouTube and esports personalities. My name is Fireblaster, and I'll be your host through this journey today. We have our guests ready and available for us, so let's go ahead and get into the game. So we have something on the background, and then we will bring our guest on. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Tuesday and everything's going well. We don't need no uh, content strikes. That World of Light song likes to strike us. So, all right, let's go ahead and bring them on. Hello?
Hello.
There she is. So,
Hello.
today's guest is one of those people that love to throw fruit at us to make sure that we are healthy. One of the best Pac-Man considered in the United States and if not the world. Please help me
Oh
in
my god.
welcoming today's guest, Kiwi.
Hello. I don't know if I'd give myself that high of an honor, but thank you.
I mean, I would definitely say you're arguably a top 5, top 10 United States Pac-Man if
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
So,
I top 10 I think is safer. There's a lot of really talented Pac-Man players out there.
right. Yeah, definitely one of those things, but well, you gotta feel appreciated every once in a while, so it's one of those things.
Right, yeah. I appreciate it.
Alright, so we're gonna get started. We always start at the beginning of these things, so let's start from the beginning. What region are you from?
I am from New England, so I'm actually in Connecticut in New England.
Nice, nice. And how long have you been going to events?
Oh gosh. Well, I started going to events back in the Brawl days, actually. So I've been attending tournaments ever since I was 12, and I'm
Nice,
26 now. So it
nice.
has been well over a decade.
That's nice. Yeah, don't worry, you're not the only Brawl staple we've had on the show. We actually had Adamisk on the show a couple weeks
Yo, that's
ago.
sick.
So, yeah, definitely one of those things. Like, I love to see the diversity. We've had people that started back in Brawl, and we had people on here that, started in Smash Ultimate. So, definitely one of those things.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah. Where did the tag Kiwi come from? I'm kind of curious on this.
Okay, well, my favorite animal in the world are kiwi birds. So,
Oh.
everyone thinks I'm named after the fruit, but I'm actually named after the bird. I just love them. They're adorable and they're endangered and they're blind, mostly blind. They're just cute. They're very cute.
That's fair. That's fair. I definitely can understand with the Twitter tag Kiwi Birdie. Now makes
Yeah,
sense
yeah.
because like I thought maybe it was just like a birdie something like you wanted to add on to the tags, but
Right,
that makes 100% makes sense now.
right, right.
What inspired you to start playing Smash?
So I've played Smash ever since I could hold a Nintendo 64 controller when I was around 5 because I am the youngest of 3 children in my family, and I had 2 parents that actually enjoyed video games. So my dad actually played Smash 64 and Melee like casually with me and my 2 older brothers. So we always played like doubles together, and we were all super bad, but it was fun.
Hmm.
And yeah, he would even do fun challenges with us, like, oh, if you beat me, I'll give you like a dollar for allowance, and it was funny stuff like
Right.
that. So we played super casually for many years, and then my oldest brother found All Is Brawl at the time, the website. Thank God it's over though. But like All Is Brawl had like a lot of tournaments that you
Hmm.
could actually find, so that's how we found out about the competitive scene, and then we went to our first tournament in that winter it was winter of 2008 when I was
Wow.
12. and we met so many awesome people, so we just kept going back and getting bodied, and it was great.
Yeah, definitely. The understatement of the world is getting bodied. Definitely
Yeah.
starts out. Uh, so if you start back in the brawl days, then who was your first main?
Oh God, my first main actually, Yoshi. Good old
Nice.
Yoshi was the character I used to use all the
Okay.
time. Yeah.
So you finally learned how to do your taxes.
Right, right, exactly. It took a while, but we got there.
Right. Where did the love for Pac-Man? Like I know he came out in Smash 4 and everything, but how did that come about? Like was it just
Yeah,
you playing friendlies or like was that like another nostalgic thing for you?
yeah, definitely nostalgic. My dad, like I'm a very sentimental person. My dad, I grew up watching him and my
Mhm.
mom play Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man all the time, and also like Galaga, Dig Dug, all those
Right.
games. And when I saw the reveal trailer, I just lost it. Like, not only was it the more OG Pac-Man and not like the Ghostly Adventures Pac-Man, thank God,
Mhm.
but like I love the design. And
Right.
also like the move set was so creative. So like those two things combined, having that like emotional connection but also a creative move set definitely drew me to him a lot. And yep, I've mained him ever since.
Right.
Even through the Smash 4 days where he didn't have a grab, but I just can't drop him. I love him too much.
I feel you there. I actually had a Pac-Man's secondary in Smash 4.
Oh
So when
no,
I was
not the secondary.
yeah, I actually had gotten my first major stream match at Smash and Splash because I was a Bowser main in Smash 4. And
Oh
when I pulled
snap.
out the Pac-Man in game 2 and they're like speaking of weird and obscure characters,
Yeah.
Pac-Man and then Nameless kind of bodied me a little bit, but I was
Well, it
I,
happens. It happens.
yeah, I was a terrible player in Smash 4, but that's okay. Like we learn from
Right.
somewhere. But
Yep, yep, gotta start somewhere.
right. Uh what well, we already went over your inspiration. What are you known for up to this point in your career? Is there anything that like sticks out that, if somebody was like, that's Kiwi.
Right, yeah. I mean, I think like I'm a very like forthright individual, so like I'll just be blunt about it. I mean,
Mhm.
I think I'm very known for being like, like people know me for Pac-Man, which I'm very grateful for. But
Right.
I think people learned who I was because I was like a woman that was performing well. I got my first top player win when I was 13 against Cheese, who was like the best ice climbers at the time,
Yes.
the good old days. Um, but yeah, like like at that time, there just were not women in the scene,
Mhm.
like especially women competing. So I think having like a woman, well, not even a woman, but like this little awkward girl, get a win like that was like kind of crazy for the community at the time, and I
Right.
think that's kind of what started the whole saga. And I don't like being known just for being a woman. I'm glad that we're kind of moving on more
Right.
towards people know me for my Pac-Man instead.
That's good.
But I think it's important to be honest about like, yeah, I think like a lot of people know me just for being one of the like really good, I hate the term female smashers, but it's true.
Right.
So yeah, my goal isn't to be a good female smasher, but hopefully to be a great top player in general. So
That's fair. And I think in my eyes, like the stigma of female gamers and having that stigma as female gamers is
mhm.
nonsense. I think it should be based on merit and
Thank
like
you.
how you do and compared to like, hey, she's a female smasher, like and
Right.
it also irritates me as well as when I go to tournaments and you see female smashers and if you're friends with them or you've had conversations with them or you want like
Oh
you're a
my
fan of
God,
them, you
yeah.
approach them and that's fine. But when you have like these guys ogling over women that come into the scene, I think just makes a negative stigma in the community.
Yeah, for
So,
sure, for sure. It's rough because, I've been in the community since I was 12. So I've
right,
seen all the good and the bad imaginable, but like the good, it really does so heavily outweigh the bad. Like
yeah,
99% of people you meet are going to be nice people, and a lot of the people like don't mean also to overstep boundaries or anything. So
right,
like I do think it's important to have, compassion for others. Like, we're in a gaming community. A lot of us are nerds who don't really interact with other people. So like, there's a lot of like understanding that you need to have when you go into the community with that. Like some dudes may not know how to very appropriately interact, but like they don't mean harm, but there for
right,
sure are unfortunately that like 0.1% that do mean harm, and
yeah,
it's just important that we have good community leadership and such that we can, confide in when these things happen and take
hmm
care of it. And I think, especially after that whole July situation 2 years ago, I think we're a
yeah,
lot better now about, you know,
yeah.
snipping the bud on those things.
Yeah, and I think I can appreciate how we've just grown from that
Mm-hmm.
situation up to where we're at now. What
For
drives you?
sure.
What drives you to succeed in the community? Do you have any driving forces that like this is what pushes Kiwi to become a better player?
Yeah, I mean, I think my inspiration when I was younger, and I don't think it's super changed, but I think my inspiration when I was younger was very much like, I don't want to be good for a girl, I want to be good, period.
Okay.
So I that's what drove me to compete a lot in like Brawl and Smash 4. But then like women started to prove it, like
Right.
Fua from Japan, Supergirl Kells, Nicole and Brawl. Like there's so many talented women that have proven for years that we can do it.
Right.
So like, people should know that we can do it at this point. So like my motivation more so now is just to prove that I can do it. Um, like I am very competitive by nature. Of course, I had my dad and two older brothers growing up.
Right.
Um, Very tomboy-esque. Uh, but also just like I'm kind of a health disaster. So
Yeah.
I have a lot of mental health disabilities as well as physical disabilities, and it's one of those things where I literally have had people tell me to quit because it's not good for me to compete, but I don't want to. Like competing is my passion, the Smash community is my
Mhm.
home. So I just want to prove that like even with all these weights that I have to carry that it's still possible. So, yeah, I think that's what drives me to
Okay.
compete, and also of course just the amazing friends in the community. So,
Right. And I was gonna bring up that I knew that you had been posting about having, you know, anxiety and
mhm.
stuff like that, and it's definitely one of those things. You have people out there that are rooting for you, because I'm definitely one of those people. I have
Thank you.
anxiety, I have depression and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, like one of those things,
Yeah.
like it's hard when people don't realize that, like that stigma of like, hey, you have depression, your anxiety, stuff like that.
Right.
When it comes to that, like they stigmatize you, like they want to try to put you in it somewhere else, and like
Right.
that's uh, we have to stick together when we have these kind of things, because like there are
Mhm.
gonna be people that are gonna try to do that to us. So
Right.
it's I always root for those people that have those kind of things, because I've
Same.
struggled
Yep.
myself. So it's definitely one of those things.
Yeah, it's like such an important topic, right? Like especially mental health. Everyone always says they give advice of like, "Oh, if you want to be good at the game, you have to have a good mindset."
Right.
But and as true as that is, it's so true. It still is a very vague statement
Mhm.
because, like what does that mean, have a good mindset? Because everyone functions differently. It's very difficult. Like what does it mean to have a good mindset? So I think it's something that needs to be discussed more. My puppy's playing, I apologize.
You're fine.
um, but yeah, like, I'm very interested in knowing like how like everyone that's successful, like how they manage these things, like are they um like everyone has their own battles, and
Mhm.
the fact that people have battles like that and can still manage to succeed is really like interesting and inspiring. So like I think people absolutely should discuss it more, and it may be uncomfortable to be vulnerable, but I think it's very beneficial for this to become a more like recognized and normalized
Mhm.
topic, that there are people like us that do struggle with these things, and we shouldn't have to feel like inferior or alienated as a result. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm very passionate about it.
Yeah, definitely one of those things. I'm an advocate for people if they need help, they need, they have people first that support because, I've
Mhm.
known people, friends and family that have gotten to the point where like
Yeah.
that they've gotten so low to that point where, they think of
Right.
alternatives that should not be thought of. And it's one of
Right.
those
Right.
things like, yeah, definitely an advocate for, you know, those kind of things. You know,
Yeah.
definitely one of those things. And shout out to everybody at home that's watching currently. If you're having any kind of, problems mentally or, something that's disabling you, definitely reach out to some
Mhm.
friends or family, get some help. Definitely one of those
Yep.
things. And, if you're not secure in talking with your friends or family about it, talk to a professional because, there are people
Absolutely.
out there that will help you if you're getting to that point. We've had people, I'm sure Kiwi's been there, I've been there
Mhm.
personally. It's
Yep.
definitely one of those things. Like, we don't want to see or lose anybody in this world to that kind of thing. Is definitely one of those things. Uh,
Yeah, 100%.
we have
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
advocation. But let's get off of that for a little bit
Right.
and let's
No happier things, yes.
let's talk about a blossoming relationship I saw happening on Twitter, and then more recently, you guys have like hit it off. It seems like is the Supergirl Kels relationship. I've noticed that you guys
Yeah.
like have interacted a lot, and then you're playing doubles online a lot, and I think you've played online like in person doubles, haven't you guys? Or
Yeah,
playing
so like it was back when the organization she started an organization called Heroes,
Mhm.
and I have a knack for getting to the depressing stuff. But anyway, like it was right after my mother was murdered that she like
Mhm.
created this group, and I was depressed, so she reached out and she was like, "Hey, you should join the crew." And I was just, I was sad and lonely, and I was like, "You know what? I'll just give it a shot.
Mhm.
I'll probably just end up training with people, and that's that." But it became something so much more than that. Um, it was just this truly a family, like truly it was. It was just like all of the people that so many people I care about and I would take a bullet for. Like truly, they mean so much to me, and we all had great friendships there. And
Mhm.
um, so like during Heroes, like Kels and I, we talked a lot and we bonded a lot over like like a lot of the struggles we've had like mentally, or like competition wise in the community, like being women and stuff like that. So we bonded and we became very close best friends uh for about 2 years, like while the organization was up, and unfortunately is disbanded because Kelsey had a new opportunity and a lot of like scheduling conflicts to continue the organization. So
Mhm.
unfortunately it had to disband. But yeah, I mean, like we were very close. We both loved doubles as well, so we were very passionate and we were like, "Oh, let's kick some butt," especially like destroying that whole stigma, of course, of like, "Oh, girls competing." So having,
Right.
two girls on the same team was like very cool to me. It was just very nice to, instead of be compared to each other, we were on a team. So it was very nice and we did really well. Like unfortunately, we aren't friends anymore. Like sometimes people just don't actually truly mesh in the long run, and that's very okay. Like
Mhm.
I still respect her and I still cheer for her regardless of however she feels for me, and it's life. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah,
mean,
it is life.
yeah, you gotta grow apart. Definitely one of those things, but you still have a mutual respect for those kind of people, and definitely understand
Yeah.
that. But definitely one of those things.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
uh, what are so we're gonna go. We've talked a little bit about your origins.
Mhm.
Starting out in Brawl and stuff like that. Now we're gonna give you an opportunity to go ahead and give your opinion on
Mhm.
some of the things that are going on in the community. Uh,
Oh
what
man.
what are some of the things you would like to see change in the community?
Mhm.
Anything that sticks out that you think that is a red flag that needs to be changed immediately? Maybe something that
Absolutely.
you feel like is something we could work on, something that doesn't need to be addressed right away, and where we've come from. Obviously, we pointed it out earlier, the stuff that happened in the summer a couple years ago,
Yep.
where we've grown, and
Yes.
point that out as well.
Yes. So, oh my God, I could talk forever about this topic, but yeah, I think again, that whole June July situation 2 years ago was a huge wake up call.
Hmm.
Um, because these things happen, but like we kind of, like it's unpleasant. A lot of people don't want to believe that it happens, but it does. So it was a wake up call, a very unpleasant one, but it
Hmm.
needed to be done and it needed to be talked about, and it was a huge cleansing opportunity for the community and like a second chance almost to, start over.
Hmm.
And I think that's something that has gotten better since then as a result is we've started to listen more to people and we've started to be overall more compassionate and empathetic to like what people may be going through. And I also think, we've been good about like hearing both sides before like coming to conclusions, because like having Twitter be the judge is kind of a bad call, but like sometimes I've been there. There's not really anything else you can do. Like I
Right.
don't know if people know about like the Alex Strife situation. He was like the head tournament organizer for a series called Apex
Yes.
in the Brawl days, and he harassed me and many other girls. So like we all, we spoke to people. We told them to stop. We couldn't really go to the police, so we didn't know what to do. So we just openly spoke up about it, and something was finally done, and he stepped down, and it was, like sometimes speaking up, as much as Twitter should not be the judge of anything, but like sometimes you just need to speak up. And I think that the TOs have done an amazing job considering how stressful of a summer that was. Uh, like so many big names being revealed to be predators or what have you is terrifying, and it's like you're in this position where the community is relying on your judgment to keep them safe, and that's a huge burden to have. But they did a really good job. Like I know Cagged did great, Grayola, etc. Like they all took initiative, and I'm very proud of them for doing that. And I think that they are really good role models for future TOs. And the fact that like, hey, it's uncomfortable, but like it's your job. We're relying on you to make the right decisions, and you can like confide in others for help and their advice. And I just like honestly, TOs, huge shout out, especially during that time period and since with COVID and everything. They are like the unsung heroes of the community 100%. So uh huge respect for TOs. um what I think could still be improved is there still are definitely issues of like how do I put it? I definitely think security is one.
Hmm.
Like at events. I feel bad that all this is getting put on TOs, God. But like, they do everything really.
Yeah.
But yeah, like security at events would be very nice to have. I've been to way too many events where it's like they'll even have a bag check and they just like look at my bag and that's it. They don't actually like
Right.
look and check inside. They just are like, "Oh yeah, whatever, you're probably fine." So like I definitely would like better bag checks. I liked Shine 2019 had actual metal detectors. That was amazing. I'm a big fan of that. Um and then I also would like, and on the security discussion, I really think we could benefit from Because you know, like it's been a whole topic of like women being uncomfortable and
Right.
minors being put in really like inappropriate situations with like alcohol and so many adults and all that. Um, that there should be like a designated person that you can go to if you're uncomfortable. And like right now, unfortunately, that's like a gray area. It's like, who do you go to like at an event? If someone's making you uncomfortable, who do you go to? Do you like go to the TO? Do you go to like the security that like is at the door doing bag checks? Like I don't know.
Right.
It's very like unclear what the best route is.
Mhm.
Um, so I think like a role like that in the future, I know it's easier said than done, but I think someone like that, like red arrow over their head, like, hey, I'm who you go to if you're having issues, would be
Right.
really helpful. Um, so
Like
yeah,
a
I think we're
confidant.
so much better. Yeah. Huh? What was that?
Like a confidant, somebody that you can
Yes,
like
exactly.
confidently go talk to, that you know that they're not gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna go spill the beans. Kiwi just came told me that she feels uncomfortable. Some dude's
Yeah,
following her
yeah,
around
exactly.
like the whole tournament. Like somebody that people would be able to trust, that like they're gonna
Right,
keep that
right.
to the people
Yeah,
that
just
need to
that
know.
insurance that
Like,
you're gonna be safe. Yep,
y-
exactly.
yeah, the confidentiality plus, telling the people that need to know, like keeping it in the know. Like, hey,
Right.
Cact, Kiwi's getting followed around by, this creepy dude that,
Mhm.
won't leave her alone, kind of thing. Yeah, definitely can feel that. I would that
Right,
would
exactly.
that would be nice for everybody, period, because I
Yeah.
definitely see that for like, not only the minors and the women, but
Yeah, men
the
too,
yeah,
100%.
yeah, and the our trans
Oh my
friends
God, yeah,
definitely.
I feel so bad for them. Like the treatment that they have to endure, like
Mhm.
not only like online is already a disaster as it is, but
Right.
like in person too. Like it's, we can't there's not a ton you can do about online. I do think that we should still have better like moderation in Twitch chats and like
Right.
on YouTube comments and such, but I do think that in person is the most important and, I think that like transgender people are people. Like they deserve decency and respect just like everyone else and like
Right.
we just need more compassion in general in this community and I think that having genuine like open discussions about it and having actual consequences is what's
Mhm.
most important, which we
Yep.
are again we're much better about, but we still could implement more to make it safer and better for everyone. So
Yeah, I think like a specific like guideline to, hey, if you do this, right, this is gonna
mhm.
be the consequence, and not like this keeping it in a gray area, like, hey, this person did this, so they're gonna get this
Right.
punishment, but then if somebody else down the line does the same thing, and they just
Mhm.
happen to be a bigger name, their punishment is lighter or,
Right,
heavier.
right.
It has to be like a standard, like
Yeah,
all the
it
way across.
universal. Yep,
Right.
exactly.
But yeah, uh, all great points. Definitely a lot of stuff can be worked on. Uh, you
Mhm.
know, and we greatly appreciate your opinion on that. That's
Thank
definitely a
you.
great thing. Now let's get off some of the less
Yeah,
fun
I have
topics.
a knack for this stuff.
That's all right. It's your chance. Arguably the funnest question of the video
Yay,
and
okay.
the headliner of this whole thing, the crowning achievement. I'm
I'm
sure a lot of
excited. Okay.
I'm sure a lot of people are kind of curious why this name came about. So I'm a K Rule main since day
Uh-huh.
one in Ultimate, and his main one of his main neutral tools is his crown. So
Yep.
like if you think about it, when you put a crown on somebody's head, they have
Uh-huh.
like this power empowerment, or like this people look up to people that have that kind of that crown
Right.
on. And for you, this question is like, what would be your crowning achievement, right? What would
Oh
you say
man.
is like you would put on your head? It could be an event, it could be a relationship in the community, it could be anything you feel like you could put it on your head and say, hey, this is Kiwi, right? And nobody could take it away from you, right? It's one of those
Oh
things, like
man.
it's your opportunity for like that moment.
Man. Dang.
And it
That's
doesn't. It
that's
does. I've had
hard.
and Bob's last week. He was on the show and he didn't give me one specific moment. He's like, "Hey, I'm a TO, so this is my TO moment. I'm a commentator, so this is my commentator moment. This is my
Right,
player
right.
moment." Like, if you have multiple moments, let's hear it. I definitely want it. I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there are like a few like moments in general that stick out for me.
That's fair.
I think like beating like still my proudest competition achievement was beating Cheese in Brawl.
That's fair.
um because I was a little awkward teenager, like I didn't even know who Cheese was because I wasn't in the loop with
Mhm.
anything competition wise. So like it was to be able to achieve something like that when I
Mhm.
felt like I was an absolute nobody, and I was depressed and all that stuff. I wasn't in a good headspace. So that
Right.
moment was really what made me feel like I actually can do great things, and
Right.
it has stuck with me ever since. Um but also just like my fiance Biscuit, he also was a Brawl player, Snake player. I met him in Brawl, and we started dating in 2012, and we've been together ever since. It's been like 10 years now, and we're engaged, and he's like, like I just love him, and I respect him, and I'm grateful for him, and I have Brawl to thank for that. Crazy, but I just like the people I've met where I've been able to sustain long-lasting relationships has been like just sticking it out and staying with this amazing community is what I care about the
Mhm.
most, and like maybe like beating Cheese was my crowning competitor moment, or when I took Tweak to game 5, whatever, getting third with Kells at Collision, like stuff like that. It's
Mhm.
amazing, but like yeah, like I don't know, I just keep coming back, not to like necessarily achieve, but just because I care so much about everyone, and that's really what's important to me. And as dumb and cheesy as it sounds, yeah, just the fact that I've been here so long and I've seen the community grow into what it is kind of what's, crazy to me. I'm a big
Right.
old boomer, I guess.
And that's an
Yeah.
achievement in its own right, actually caring about the community, because a lot of people are just in it for like the moment's sake.
Right,
Definitely one of those
right.
things. Like, I've been in the
I
community
agree.
for 7 years myself, so definitely one of those
Dang.
things. Like, seeing all these people, and I'm like, man, seeing all the boomers like leaving the community, and you're like, get sad, but then you realize all the new blood that's coming through. So it's
Right.
definitely one of those things. And
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be that grandma still in the community. So
Kiwi walking around with her cane and be like,
my
back
cane and my
in
wheelchair. Yeah.
like back in my day.
Yeah, that'll be me. I'm gonna be watching my nephew compete, I'm sure. So,
Right. And
yep.
speaking of achievements, right? What would be a great achievement for you guys at home is if you followed me on Twitch. It'd be greatly
Yes,
appreciated if you
sir.
followed me. Also, I have a YouTube channel where all of these great interviews we've had so far, Kiwi, Fobs last week,
Mhm.
stuff like that. Icon, we had Icon on the show.
Yo, big fan.
We
Let's go.
we had somebody that wasn't
It is time
greatly
for another
viewed
all
at
new
was
episode.
we had technicals on the show. You got the voices opinion about some of the community
Mhm.
stuff
Hey, man,
too,
it's important to
right?
show all sides.
Right, definitely one of those things. If you guys appreciate these kind of things and giving opportunity for me to go ahead and give
Mhm.
you this information, we greatly appreciate if you guys gave my YouTube a subscription as well. That's free. Trying to get to that
Yes,
hundred,
sir.
trying to get to that 100 mark, because once we get there, then we get the personal URL. Stupid YouTube taking that
Yes.
away from everybody. But yeah, definitely one of those things. Now that I'm done with my spiel, uh,
You deserve it, man. I really appreciate what you do.
I
So,
appreciate that. Now it's time for our fans at home. If you guys have a
yo.
question for Kiwi, this is your time to do it. Anything
Oh
that
God.
come to your mind, anything you guys feel like, any kind. Definitely got a few people at home that are talking, watching the show right now. But if you don't have anything, that's fine, guys. We're definitely one of those things. While we're waiting for some questions from home that are going to be coming through, I have an opportunity for you. So I don't know how versed you are in sports.
Oh God.
Are you
Not
versed?
very.
You're not very versed in sports. Do you at least know who
Yeah.
John Madden is?
Yes, I at least
Okay.
yes.
So John Madden, a great player in his own right. A broadcaster, fantastic broadcaster. Everybody wants to know him as a broadcaster. He wasn't known for his broadcasting. He was known, for the longest time, he was known for his coaching. This is
Right.
your opportunity. Become Coach Madden. You get the chance to give advice to players, fans, casters, competitors at home that might be watching this, that are coming into Ultimate, that are new players, somebody that's a veteran, somebody that's not completely in the right headspace. This is your opportunity to give those kind of people advice. Become Coach
Oh
Madden.
boy.
This is your opportunity.
Okay. Well, I think my advice is just like I think the biggest advice I can give is just to, show compassion to yourself and to others. Because I think that's a huge thing that like it affects your competition, right? I know so many players that they don't do well and then they beat themselves up like crazy for it, and they're like, oh, I'm better than this, I need to be better than this, I'm so bad, I'm trash, all that stuff. But like you need to give yourself credit. Competing is incredibly hard. So is commentating, so is TOing, so is content creation, all of that stuff. It's incredibly hard. And people need to give themselves credit for pursuing it at all. And sticking with it especially. And I think that's something that I've gotten better at over the years, and it has made me a much better player to like be more understanding of others, but most importantly of yourself. Like everyone has bad days. It takes a long time to get to where you want to be for 99% of people. Like don't compare yourself to others. I made that horrible mistake many times, and it's not good. It's not healthy. So what's important is focus on yourself and your own journey. Like your journey is going to be different from everyone else's. So that's what's most important is be kind to yourself and be kind to others, and you naturally will just get better at competition. Because like if you're fighting someone and you get janked by some Kazuya thing, I don't know, you have two choices, right? You can either be like, oh man, this game's dumb, this game sucks, or whatever, or you can be like, okay, why did that happen? Like, how did that happen? Why did that happen? What did I do wrong? What can I do differently? So like, there's a huge difference there. The player that's just frustrated isn't going to learn, but the player that actually stops to understand why things are the way they are is the one that's probably going to succeed. So, just it's easier said than done, of course. It's not about that like, oh, just have a good mindset. Duh. Like it doesn't work that way. But like just take care of yourself as a person and confide in friends for help if you need it. I think everyone should be in therapy. God, I think therapy should be a universal thing. If you can afford it, totally do that too. Like mental health is important. That's all I seem to talk about these days. Right. But yeah, just be compassionate. That's my best advice.
It was a great sentiment. Definitely lots of different takes on different things, and that's appreciated because everybody's views on situations are different. So definitely one of those things. That's why I always give that opportunity for people to speak out on that kind of stuff, because everybody's advice could be different.
Right.
And I want to eventually build this to a point where like people can watch the videos and watch just that in this end segment and be able to be like, you know what, I could use this to grow as a competitor or grow as a fan or as a caster or anything like that. So that's great sentiment.
Yeah.
So what Do you have any future events that are coming up that we can, if we're in the area, be like, hey, we could go see Kiwi at?
Yes. Okay. So I have a pretty packed summer, which is great. I'm very excited. I have actually not this weekend, but the weekend after, I have Get on My Level 2022. My first Canadian major, so that's exciting. I'm gonna be teaming with Sinji in doubles, and hopefully, we'll do well in singles too. Yeah, double Pacman, let's go. And then after Gommel, I have SmashCon, August 11th to August 14th. Uh, don't know who I'm teaming with yet. Potentially Elegant, we'll see. Uh, so that'll be fun. And then after SmashCon, I have Shine, and I'll be teaming with good old Pelka, my in-region static for that one. So yeah, we have a good amount of things lined up right now.
Nice. I would love to see the travel, trying to put a schedule together. Definitely one of those things. Me myself trying to do that. Definitely one of those things. You're gonna.
Yeah.
Especially with summer, with all these huge events that are gonna be coming up, you definitely want to try to. If you're gonna try to take this seriously and have a fun time, summer is where it's at. Cause
Of course, yep.
all these kids being able to come out to these events more. So.
Yeah, that's the time, man, when school is out and all that stuff in the summer. That's when these events are going crazy. So,
Right.
yeah, definitely save up for summer events. That's my advice.
Right. Yeah, I definitely remember Smash 4. I think it was like the summer before Smash 4 ended or the summer before that. And like every other weekend there was like two or three majors going on. And I'm like, there's too much going on. I don't got the money for this. I'm like, I want to go to everything, but I can't go to everything.
I know, that's a mood, God.
So expensive, like flights.
Oh yeah.
Hotels and food and.
Yeah, it's a lot, especially with the non-sponsored life. You're like, oh, it's rough out here.
Right? Yeah, it's definitely one of those things. But end goals, definitely one of those things.
Exactly. Eye on the prize.
Do you have any shout outs or anything you like to promote at this point?
I mean, just shout outs to there would be so many people, but just shout outs to New England and shout outs to everyone that was a part of Heroes. I still care so much about all of them. And shout outs to, my fiance Biscuit and, I just care about everyone and just shout outs to everyone that's doing their best every day. God, I mean, that's really all you can ask for, right? Is just do your best. And yeah, I mean, I don't have much to plug. I mean, I think that everyone here should be following you. That's what I think is important because I think, again, learning about people and talking about these things is what's most important. So I would appreciate if everyone followed Fireblaster. That would mean a lot. But if you do care about me at all, that I guess I do have a YouTube, a Twitch, TikTok, and an Instagram that are all Kiwi Birdie, same as my Twitter.
Nice.
So yeah, you can, I guess, follow me there.
Nice. See that? You even answered the next question was going to be where can we find you at? So you definitely answered that. So it's Kiwi Birdie on everything. You said Instagram, YouTube,
Yep.
all that.
Twitch, yep, yes sir.
Fun. All right, guys. I think that's going to be the last sentiment for this episode. A great conversation with Kiwi. We greatly appreciate you having you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
First adult female on the show. You weren't the first female, but you're definitely the first adult female. We had
Oh dang!
We had Bubblegum, the youngest competitor in Smash, on the show.
Oh wow!
Ago. She is 7.
That's cool. Oh my god! Wait, what?
Yes.
Wait.
I'm serious. 7 years old. I've met this girl in person. She's out of Kansas City.
Oh my god, that's amazing. What?
Yeah, her dad, so she always loved Kirby, and she was watching, watching Kirby and stuff, and then she found out that Kirby was in Smash, so then her and her dad started playing Smash Brothers together, and then they're like, hey, maybe this could be competitive, so they started watching they started watching Smash Brothers together, and then they're like, well, there might be Smash tournaments around us. So then they
Oh
found
my god.
Level Up Arena, and then they started going to Smash tournaments together. And I'm like, oh, this is
That is
too
so
adorable.
precious. I can't. Oh, that's amazing. Oh my god, I have to watch that interview.
Yeah, definitely one of those things. But
Oh wow.
yeah.
Well, it's an honor to be here, but like, oh, that's so cool. I need to watch that.
But yeah, thank you guys so much. Let's look at the schedule, see what we've got coming up. I'm trying to think what we've got coming up next week.
Got things coming up.
Kimona and Chia is next week's
Yo, that's a good duo.
Yeah, so that's a good duo, and then that's the end of June. July, we have Same T Silver, Scar, Apollo
Nice.
Kage, and Yellow Rello, and then
Dang.
then whoever we decide to try to get on the show, I'm definitely talking to a couple of YouTubers, trying to get them on the show. Gonna try to entice some bigger Smash players, like the ones with the huge followings, try to get those guys on the show. So,
Yeah, I'll put in a good word, bro.
I appreciate it. But thank you all so much. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Tuesday. My name is Fireblaster. Follow me on Twitter at Fireblaster65, or I plug the YouTube there. And hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your Tuesday.